Bring out old games. I know, right? I mean, I like. Don't get me wrong. I like some of these remakes. Like, I'd love a Siphon Filter remake, or hey, it's Morgan.
Always at odds with authority.
Oh, I could use his face for State of Decay. His game face in this.
Early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But
what is she, MI6 leader?
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill.
Doesn't sound like Morgan.
Utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target.
Ooh,
let's give him
I wasn't expecting that. Why does he look like? Why does Bond look like a 2025 fuckboy? What the hell is this modern
James Bond? He's with me.
And you are?
Money Penny.
Had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
I said she was the head of MI6. Why did they make M? This is some proper modern day.
We're facing a situation of the utmost
I don't even care that they've got his race and his gender right. He looks like some modern day.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the end game is, we won't see it coming.
James, but I'm saying, like, he looks like Gen Z Bond. That's the word I'm looking for. He looks like Gen Z Bond or something. I mean, I guess we're in Generation Z now. They're the leaders of this generation, but I don't. Gen Z Bond is crazy.
Tell me, what do you do, James?
Gen Z and James Bond do not mix. It just don't mix at all. It's like trying to you got feminist. You ain't got femme fatales. You got feminist fatales now. No femme fatales. That is not James Bond. First Light. I don't like his face. Why does he look like he's 21?
I suppose this is another teachable moment.
At this point, Morgan looked more like James Bond. That ain't James Bond, man. That's Tom Holland, isn't it? Are they trying to set us up for Tom Holland?
Hello, I'm Hakan Abrak, CEO of Iron
They're gonna get conflated. Yeah, man. He
the
looks.
team is thrilled to announce 007 First Flight.
Look, I understand that we're in
You'll
like.
experience James Bond as a young air crewman in the Royal Navy.
I understand that we're in Gen Z
and the Martinis,
times now,
as he first
and we're in a
steps
new
into the world of
generation. We're in the future. We're in
striving to
AI
earn his
times.
00 status.
But I don't think James Bond should ever look
Everyone
like
at Iron Interactive has
one of these
poured
gym bros. I'm
their
surprised you didn't give him
passion
the broccoli
and
haircut.
into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25 years.
That's how you know
of
masculinity
expertise.
is gone when James Bond
This
looks like
is
that.
just the beginning of our journey with 007, and we can't wait to share more with you soon.
That's the ideal man now. I mean, he looks. If it wasn't James Bond, he'd look alright. But he just looks too young, and the people around him, it just didn't feel right. It just felt off. It didn't feel like Bond at all. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a man's man at all, does he? But I might watch that James Bond trailer one more time before I go off the stream, because I was so distracted of all the Gen Z DEI ZDI crap that I didn't even pay attention to what the gameplay was actually going to be like. It looks like it might be. It looks a lot like Everything or Nothing actually. In me, everything or that classic PS2 James Bond. People seem to like it though. I just don't like it. I really don't like his look, man. Like, it just doesn't feel like James Bond to me. Maybe I'm just old. Morgan was the best part of the trailer, to be honest.
Put him in the program, Mom.
It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target.
See, even the way he was walking there, I knew this isn't going to run. Like, he's more like Nathan Drake than James Bond.
Let's give him one.
Like, this character design ain't bad, but it just doesn't suit James Bond to me, man, in my opinion. It just doesn't. I don't know. He looks too F-boyish, man. I don't know, man. I know James Bond technically is kind of a fuckboy, but he's more like a man. Like, I don't know. There's a difference between fuckboy and womanizer.
Do you
James
have an
Bond.
appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are?
Well, I can't complain. It's
No,
for a
let's
modern
not get ahead of
audience, I
ourselves,
guess.
James.
That Q. At least Q looks better than the Q they had in the films. To be fair, I did kind of like that young Q.
So you shouldn't have.
And why is he wearing like a leather jacket and that? Where's the suit?
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy.
People still wear suits, right? This doesn't feel like James Bond at all. It feels like Ubisoft, or something, like some random Ubisoft game.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the end game is, we won't see it coming.
Yeah, where's his suit, man? This guy's wearing a suit. Why can't Bond wear a suit?
Jet lag. Gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Like, using the music, man, it's got really people just hyped for no reason. I ain't a fan, man. Okay, he's wearing a suit. Finally. Jesus. I'm not saying you've got to wear a suit the whole time, but you can barely see when he's wearing a suit.
Headhunting.
He might, if he was wearing a suit, maybe he'd look better, but you can barely see where he's wearing a suit, man. And you, instead of femme fatales, you got feminist fatales. That, I don't know, I just get massive Starbucks LA vibes from this chick. I noticed that he made his Bond no suit. Notice there's no Bond girl. I mean, there's Bond girls, but they're like, you can just tell it's not going to be that kind of thing where he just, you know, dominates the whole scene and he's like, yo, name's Bond, James Bond. And that's all he's got to say and the girls fall on his lap. Ain't going to be like that. He's going to be begging and simping and that. They're not showing it in this trailer, but I can just tell. There's something going on there. Still got the girl things going on. You know? Look, man, all this is fine. If it was a different model and it looked more like how James Bond feels like he should look, this probably wouldn't be that bad. But I just can't. He looks more like Nathan Drake or something, or like, I don't know, just he doesn't feel like Bond. Tom Holland or something, man. That ain't got Daniel Craig vibes or Pierce Brosnan vibes or Sean Connery vibes. Definitely not Sean Connery. No, not even Roger Moore. Like not even Lazenby or like what's his name? The guy from The Living Daylights. Can't remember his name. He just basically looks like a Pierce Brosnan copy anyway. At first, when he came in, I thought it was going to be Brosnan. But then I saw, oh, nah, man. The best thing was the music, seeing my man Morgan, Lenny James. There he is.
I suppose this is
Can we control Lenny James? I'd rather control him. I don't know, man. People like it though, according to the comments. People are feeling it. Great. Britain's MI5 run by non-British people. Yeah, sure. DEI Bond. James Bond Jr. Wow, Bond looks a bit generic. Yeah. Is it James Bond woke? Okay, here are the real comments. I think it's too new. Give it some time and this trailer might have a different reaction to it. Morgan, what are you doing if we're not in a zombified world? Giving Bond his cheek scar from the novels, nice touch. Oh, okay, that's a deep cut. No pun intended. Why does he have green eyes? That's not the worst part, man. It just doesn't feel. That's James Bond Jr. That's the problem. It feels like some Gen Z kid not wearing a suit. Henry Ethan Hunt. He feels more like Ethan Hunt. If this was a Mission Impossible game, I'll probably be okay with this. If this was Mission Impossible, I'll actually be okay with this model. But it just doesn't feel James Bondish to me at all, man. But anyway, Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. Oh, for sure. I'm sure their logo's there somewhere. IOI. To be fair, those Hitman people making it, though, the gameplay could be good. Gameplay could be good. He looks pretty decent. See, he just looks like... No, that's Ethan Hunt. Why couldn't they just make him? Maybe they were making a Mission Impossible game and they couldn't get the rights or something. Tom Cruise won't let them have it. So then they just changed it to a James Bond game last minute. I don't know. Maybe James Bond is done, man. I don't think James Bond can work in this time. Like, they should made a James Bond game but set it in the 60s and proper have the 60s aesthetic. None of this 2025 version of the 60s. The actual 60s. James Bond being a womanizer, borderline, what people would consider assault today. But it wasn't back then. Just be true to it, man. If you have to absolutely write it in a negative way that he has to learn from it, do it, because you can't hack it. But like, it would be nice to play it or watch even like a James Bond film set or game set in the 60s, the actual 60s. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I'm done talking about James Bond. What they say, I'm timeless.